Hello everyone. So let us go through some of the updates from the Atlassian ecosystem. This week we do have uh, some interesting updates, and I'm actually quite happy that Atlassian is doing these changes and these improvements. So the first update I have for you is about the way teams work. Now, I've been talking about teams a lot in in my videos, in my posts, and initially when Teams came out, I think it was not massively useful because Teams was just Teams. It was not really connected to anything else, and I think that is not changing. Maybe Atlassian is watching my videos and they are improving it. But anyways, so this update is about how teams will be managed. Now, this is, I believe, something to do with how teams will appear in a site. And I had no idea that if you create a team, it will appear in all the sites that you manage, which of course is not really ideal. So this update, I believe, will change that. So this is something that was, I think, this update came out on 15th of July, which was, I think, a couple of weeks back. Yeah, a couple of weeks back. So I don't really think this is now rolled out to everyone, but I need to check again if in my cloud instances, that I manage for my clients, if we have this update or not. But I was anyways not using Teams. So if you're using Teams, I think this should be interesting for you. Okay, so the next update is about Bitbucket. Now, Bitbucket is another not so popular tool from Atlassian. I mean, it is popular, but not like GitHub or GitLab. But I think Atlassian is doing changes to Bitbucket. I know recently there was an update about workspace limits. I believe within a workspace, the total size cannot be more than 1 GB for a free plan, of course. And I was using free plan, and I had to, then do some cleanup, which is fine, which I understand. But I think Atlassian is doing something on Bitbucket side, and Bitbucket now, I believe, can be now managed through Atlassian organization. I don't really have any client who is using Bitbucket Cloud, although my clients, one of my clients, in fact, two of my clients are using Bitbucket, or I should say Data Center Stash, but the sites that I manage on Jira Cloud, they are not connected to Bitbucket Cloud. So this is something that I think, for me, it is good to know that Bitbucket can now be managed from within your Atlassian organization as an admin. But if you are Bitbucket Workspace admin, and if you are now trying to have this consolidated view of everything, like just log into one place and you will find all these applications, I think this can be useful. So this is good. I think this will roll out on 2nd of September. So not really, this has to be done by 2nd of September. So basically you have some time. And I think this is important, right? Because we just have 1 month to do it. And the next update is not really an update, it is basically a post, which I thought is interesting. Now, Rovo is nice. I've tried it, although it is not perfect. I think last time I tried using Rovo to create a rule, automation rule, and it worked, but it was not really, perfect. I had to still do things and modify my rule, but I believe it is getting better. Now in this post, I believe someone from Atlassian, they have shared how to create a rule using a prompt. So basically what they have done here is they have provided this prompt, which, to be honest, is is a lot, but I understand. Now the thing is that I think prompt is all about, so when we talk about AI, right, I think prompt is the key. If you are good in based on, of course, your experience with ChatGPT or Perplexity, Claudia, I think the way you enter prompt, you'll get used to it, right? And you get better in providing prompts. I think the same thing is applicable for Rovo. So if you look at this prompt is doing a lot. Like summarize this issue summary, issue.summary. So you're using smart values. Then we're talking about when the ticket has been created, then edit the existing issue. So it's to be honest, it's a lot. I don't really think a normal person can write such prompt, right? So I still think it will, because normally when I work with Jira admins, they're all somewhat technical, if not very technical. So they can always manage and write their own rules once they know how to do it. I think when it comes to prompts, using a prompt in itself is difficult, because you need to be very elaborate, and you need to write as much as you can to explain the requirement. But I think this example will give you some pointers, so do give it a try. So if you're on Jira Premium plan, I believe you should be able to use a prompt, right? That is my understanding. I think you need to be on Jira Premium. So give it a try. Maybe it will work for you, maybe it will not. But try to do it without using a prompt. Like maybe not using this prompt, just use your own prompt. So I thought I'll probably talk about this blog post. And by the way, if you're listening to this on Spotify, you will find other links to these blogs. Okay, so the next update is about Trello. It is a bit surprising that Atlassian is doing every week. So whenever I log into Atlassian community, I find some updates related to Trello. And in the last few weeks, I think there are a lot of things happening on the Trello side. And this update is about like connecting your Outlook to Trello, which is definitely interesting. I use Outlook, but not really for my personal work. I use Outlook for my clients' work, but I know, based on my experience working with clients, because in most companies where they're using like Microsoft, they want to have some kind of a plugin or some kind of an integration. So having this feature where Trello Planner can be integrated with Outlook, I think everyone would appreciate. So do give it a try. I don't really use Trello. None of my clients use Trello, but if you are, I think this can be useful. So the way I believe this will work, I think you need to go to Trello and then you need to start configuring it. So this should be straightforward. So do give it a try and let me know if it works or not. Alright, so let us talk about the upcoming event. Now there is an event happening on 23rd of August in Greater Noida, and I will most likely be there. So this event is happening. What is the location? Okay, it's Pari Chowk. Pari Chowk is actually a bit far from my place, but I will try to go. So this event is about CI/CD pipelines, and I have done some work, not really a lot of work, but I've done some work in Bitbucket pipelines. We tried using Bitbucket pipelines when we were configuring or trying to do some testing using I think we were trying to do it for Forge, and we also tried doing it for the DC app. So in the past we have developed one DC app, and then we tried Bitbucket pipelines. So it is there for you, and I'm sure it is useful. I still need to learn a lot, so maybe I'll go to this event and I'll try to learn a bit more about how we can use it in our workflow, right, for CI/CD. The next update is the blog that we wrote. So this is the blog of the week, and recently we wrote a blog about configuration management in Jira. Now configuration management in Jira is not really straightforward. I know there are apps. I know these apps can do deploying of these configurations, and recently I've also made a video by the way on this topic. So in that video and also in this blog post, we are talking about the challenges that you will face when it comes to configuration management right? So you have to be careful. If you're using some apps, then it will work for sure, but you have to be very careful. But don't just rely on these apps to deploy your configurations from sandbox to production. You have to be careful about it. Okay, so I thought I'll probably talk about this. And the last thing that I want to talk about is the video of the week. Now, from my experience, and I'm sure you would agree, many people use Jira just as a repository. They dump data there and they forget about it. And this is of course just one use case where people just keep dumping data to Jira and then they don't update it or they don't worry about it. The other use cases could be there where people use Jira as a database, where they're just, Jira is an issue tracker. If you're just dumping stuff there and don't really doing anything about it, then I think it's not right. Jira is not a tool where you can dump data and then use it as a repository later on, which unfortunately is the case. Unfortunately, for many organizations, Jira ends up just being nothing but a dump or a repository or an archive or a place where things go and it sits there. Like those issues, bugs, stories are just there and no one is doing anything about it because people can fall back to Excel, or once the delivery is done, they forget about it. So don't use Jira as a database. Use Jira for proper issue tracking. Try to close your issues. You should have like a life cycle, right? And in this video, I was just talking about these points. So I thought I'll probably, share it with all of you. And I know this week's update is not really lengthy, but I just wanted to, talk about it because there are few updates, and at the same time, these updates are significant. I think each and every update, especially for us Jira admins, Jira consultants, we need to be on top of these things because we work with our clients and we need to know what is happening, like all the latest things happening. So I thought I'll probably, make this video and this post, this podcast as well, which of course you can listen to on Spotify. So yeah, thanks for joining, and I hope you enjoyed watching and listening to this session and you enjoyed something. Thank you very much. Bye bye.